That felt like bullying. Paul Skenes versus the Colorado Rockies. Never really felt like the Rockies had much of a chance going into it. Then he strikes out the first six batters of the game. He takes a no-hit bid into the seventh. He finishes with 8 scoreless innings. I know the old heads, the purists would say, give him the ninth too, finish what you started, but I stand by what Don Kelly and what Paul Skenes said. He didn't need the ninth after that performance. Good morning and welcome to Offbeat here on North Shore 9 presented by FanDuel. My name is Alex Stumpf. This is a daily look at your Pittsburgh Pirates. And today, we're reflecting on another Paul Skenes masterclass. He has had a couple starts. He's on a roll right now. He got that ERA back under 2. He's had a couple starts. It's like 3 out of his last 4 that he's had like a legitimate no-hit or a perfect game bid going into the 5th, 6th, 7th inning. It's been a pretty incredible stretch right now. Tuesday might have been his best start of the year. 2 hits allowed, 10 strikeouts, 8 scoreless, and really, it felt like it was at will. Last week I talked about how I felt like, he may have a different level here, that he may not be optimizing his pitch mix. That wasn't the case on Tuesday. That was a very meat and potatoes approach, and it worked out beautifully. He attacked hitters almost exclusively, four-seamer and the sweeper. He'll go east to west. He'll attack up. It was what you want to see. Left-handers, it was a very left-handed lineup for the Rockies. We saw a more robust pitch mix. There were a lot of changeups, but we also saw some splitters. We saw some sinkers. We saw everything besides the curveball, really. This is kind of what the ideal version of 2025 Paul Skenes looked like in 2026. That was the 2025 Cy Young winner. Facing a team that isn't going to compete, just bullied them. Traditionally, if you throw 8 scoreless innings and your team is leading 3-0, throughout a lot of baseball history, you send the guy out there for the ninth. Finish what you started, get your complete game. And Paul Skenes, if he has one personal accomplishment that he hasn't achieved yet, not counting like team success, just personal, he doesn't have a 9-inning complete game. He did throw a complete game last year in Philadelphia, 8 innings, allowed 1 run, ended up taking a loss. There was no bottom of the ninth, so it was a complete game. He doesn't have a proper 9-inning complete game yet. And I think if push came to shove, he could have finished that game on Tuesday. It just raises one question, though. Why bother? This is the Colorado Rockies. This is a team that is pretty hopeless, pretty desolate. They are not going to compete in 2026. This game really was 1 out of 162 and nothing more. There's no, this could be a tiebreaker. This is, you might be playing for playoff positioning or for a wild card or whatever it was. No, this was just a very simple, efficient, get the win type of game. And whenever you have your ace on the mound, your best case scenario is you win. He pitches well that you don't have to really use the bullpen. Gregory Soto was the only reliever who was used. I think he was the only one who even got warm on Tuesday. And you just get out of there with a win, and you put yourself in the best position to win the next time you get the ball 5 games from now. And all those boxes were checked. I don't care about the complete game. That is an individual stat here. And I'm more worried about what the 200-plus inning body of work of Paul Skenes is going to look like. That is what's most important here. How does he hold up over the course of the year? And yeah, he probably could have finished that start, but it would have gotten to like 110 pitches. It would have taken him into uncharted territory. How does he recover? How does he get better? Are there lingering effects? How about just the first pitch that he threw in the top of the eighth was a 94 mile per hour fastball? 93, 94. I can't remember which, but it was not fastball velocity. And Skenes even joked, like, yeah, whenever your fastball is being, registered as a splinter, that's probably not a good thing. The seventh inning was a long inning. The Rockies made a pitching change. It was one of those things that I feel like if the Pirates would have had a little bit larger of a lead, we might not have seen Skenes go out for the eighth. If they would have been up like 6-0, 7-0, they would have been like, you know what? Brandon Benoit's up here. He's going to pitch in the major leagues. This is a low leverage entry point. Go in there, see what it's like. And that would have been fine. And I'm not knocking going on the eighth because you don't know that he's going to go out and he's going to throw a 94 mile per hour fastball. And let's just reiterate here. He was fine. He was fine. The fastball velo ticked back up. He did allow a hit. It was a pretty clean inning. I do get, though, whenever he finishes that inning at 98 pitches, and you saw a couple pitches not as sharp and not with the same velo, that you're like, you know what? We're good. Why push it? What is to be gained from the team standpoint of putting your ace out there for another inning? Nothing. If the only reason you were going to win that game, leading 3-0 in the top of the ninth against the Colorado Rockies, if your only way of winning that game is, pushing your ace beyond what he's ever done before, and if he doesn't throw the complete game, you don't win, then you don't deserve to win. There is no game in the middle of May that is worth potentially frying your ace over. So, yeah, I get why traditionally it's like, well, have him finish the game, get that complete game. Where is the complete game gone? It only takes like 2 or 3 to lead the league anymore. You know what? He's flirted with this a couple times. This is 2 straight starts where he went 8 scoreless innings. I wouldn't be shocked if there is a complete game in there. It didn't have to be Tuesday night. We're going to talk a little more Skenes here in a second, but first we're going to throw it over to Cody.
This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack hydration sponsor. IQ Bar protein bars, IQ Mix hydration mixes, and IQ Joe mushroom coffees are the delicious, low-sugar, brain and body fuel you need to win your day. The Ultimate Sampler Pack is a great way for you to try all IQ Bar products and flavors. You get 9 IQ bars, 8 IQ Mix sticks, and 4 IQ Joe sticks. All IQ Bar products are clean label certified and entirely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial ingredients. With over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are fueling their lifestyles with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. The Ultimate Sampler Pack includes all 3. My personal favorites so far have been the almond butter chip and the iced tea lemonade hydration mix. It's just really full of flavor. I love starting my day with it, and I couldn't imagine starting my day with anything else other than IQ Bar products. Right now, IQ Bar is offering our podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, including the Ultimate Sampler Pack, plus free shipping. To get your 20% off, text MLB to 64,000. That's MLB 64000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
Don Kelly was asked about the conversations he has with Paul Skenes whenever he takes him out of ball games. He's like, they're good. He didn't elaborate a whole lot on it, but he did say we're usually on the same wavelength on it. And both of them seem very on the same wavelength for Tuesday. So let's take it a step further. What goes into the first proper 9-inning complete game for Paul Skenes? It's probably something similar to what we saw most of Tuesday, where he pitches effectively throughout most of the game, a lot of shorter at-bats, not a lot of men on base. I think the ups are the big equation here. It's the sitting down, how long you wait, how long does it take between innings. That's something that's harder to register, but whenever you sit there longer, you can't really throw in a tunnel or do a whole lot. You're just kind of waiting. And the arm can maybe not be as loose as it once was. I think if that 7th inning didn't happen and maybe the Pirates went down in order, maybe this would be a different type of discussion. Maybe he gets through that 8th inning a little faster. Maybe he doesn't throw a 94-mile-per-hour fastball. And if he's at like even 5 fewer pitches, let's say like 93, then yeah, I think there is a legitimate case here of, do you want him to do it? But it would be a very much, do you want to do it type of deal. How do you feel? How much do you want it? Because Paul Skenes has been very open that his number one thing right now is to win ball games. He wants to be part of a winning club. He talked about it the night whenever he won the highest personal award a pitcher could win, the Cy Young, and he wants to be part of a competitive ball club. That's what a lot of the discussion on Cy Young night was. That he wants to win, that the goal is to win a World Series. And you know what you can't do on May 12th against the Colorado Rockies? You can't win a World Series. I made one prediction earlier in the year where I said Seth Hernandez will finish the year in Altoona. So I'm going to hedge that not so bold take anymore with another not so bold take. Paul Skenes throws a 9-inning complete game at some point this year. And hell, the way he's been pitching, it might be in May. He is in one of the nastiest grooves I have ever seen from a Pirates starter. He hasn't walked a batter in a month. He is making hitters earn everything, and whenever you see the stuff that he throws in the zone, it's tough to square up. He's not beating himself. I really love the approach that he had on Tuesday with the pitch mix, how he used his stuff. That's really what I think the more idealized version of Paul Skenes is. Work more east to west against right-handers and then off-speed drop against left-handers. He did that very effectively. He wasn't playing with his food. He just went right at the Rockies. He's like, you know what? It was one of those games that felt like if anyone was going to be Paul Skenes, it was Paul Skenes trying to be too cute, and he wasn't. He was just ruthlessly efficient, attacked, got the win. The win's what matters. This is a team that entered the day tied for 4th place. This is a very tough division. They need to win games like this. And more importantly, they need to make sure that this team is in position to win moving forward. And the only way Paul Skenes can do that is to make sure that he is in the best spot exiting games. He did that. A complete game would have been nice. Being in the best position to try to make another bid for one 5 days from now is even better. Thank you so much for listening to Offbeat here on North Shore 9, presented by FanDuel. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe. And if you want to see my smiling face and fresh haircut at Section 322 at PNC Park, check us out on YouTube. Subscribe there. Thank you so much for listening. We'll talk again tomorrow.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in. Whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube, if you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.